Alex, a human explorer, had never seen a planet like this. The sky glowed in shades of violet and orange, and the trees had crystal-like leaves that shimmered in the gentle wind. His boots crunched softly on the alien soil as he moved cautiously, scanning every corner. He had come here to study the strange energy readings, but deep inside he felt something unusual, something alive. Suddenly, a soft, melodic laugh floated through the air. It was delicate, almost like music, yet tinged with fear. Alex froze. No human should be here, yet he could feel the presence of someone watching him. He followed the sound, careful not to make a sudden movement. Peeking through a grove of luminescent trees, he saw her, an alien princess. She was small, with pale, glowing skin and hair that sparkled like starlight. Her eyes were wide with caution, and she hugged something close to her chest, a small creature that looked both frightened and magical. Alex stepped forward slowly. "Hey, it's okay," he said gently. "I mean no harm." The princess flinched but didn't run. Her eyes widened with curiosity, studying the stranger. Alex noticed the tiny creature she held tremble, and he realized it must be scared too. He crouched down to appear smaller, softer. "Do you need help?" he asked. The creature let out a tiny whimper. Alex reached out slowly, letting it sniff his hand. The princess gasped, her glow flickering like a flame. After a tense moment, she allowed him closer. The small alien in her arms slowly relaxed under Alex's calm touch. For a few moments, silence ruled, broken only by the soft wind. Then curiosity overcame fear. The princess's lips curled into a tiny smile. "Who are you?" she asked in a voice as soft as moonlight. "I'm Alex," he replied. "I'm an explorer, I guess," he smiled.
"And you?"
"Lyra," she whispered, as if the word itself was fragile. Just as Alex was about to respond, his foot hit a strange, glowing stone on the ground. The device pulsed, emitting a low hum. Lyra's eyes widened in alarm. "No, don't touch it," she cried, but it was too late. The device floated into the air, spinning and glowing brighter. A mysterious light enveloped them, and the ground beneath trembled. Alex instinctively stepped between Lyra and the device, his heart racing. What had he activated, and what would happen next? From behind the trees, shadows shifted. Figures moved silently, watching them. Alex's mind raced. Were they friends or hunters? He glanced at Lyra, whose glow had intensified with fear. This was no longer just an exploration. It was a test of courage, trust, and the start of an adventure that neither of them could have imagined. And as the device's glow pulsed faster, Alex knew one thing for certain. Nothing here was ordinary, and every choice he made would matter. Alex had never felt more out of place. The forest around him seemed alive, glowing plants swaying gently as if whispering secrets. The strange device he had accidentally activated in the previous encounter now floated silently above the ground, its light dim but still humming with energy. Lyra clutched her small alien companion tightly, her eyes darting nervously at every shadow. I didn't mean to activate it," Alex said, hands raised slightly in apology. "I just didn't see it there." Lyra's gaze softened a little, but her body remained tense. "It's dangerous," she whispered. "If it falls into the wrong hands, it could destroy—" She stopped abruptly, as if saying the full thought would be too dangerous. Alex nodded, sensing there was much he didn't understand. "Then I'll help you protect it," he said firmly. "No one will touch it while I'm here." For a moment, Lyra studied him. Then slowly she nodded. "You are different from the others," she said almost to herself. They only want to take things. You just care." Alex blinked. "Well, I care about lives, not just objects, especially when someone is scared," he said, glancing at the trembling creature in her arms. Lyra let out a small, nervous laugh, almost like a sigh of relief. "This is my brother," she whispered. "He is very sensitive. He feels everything." She hugged him tighter. The little alien creature's skin shimmered faintly, reacting to the emotions around it. Alex knelt down carefully, speaking in soft tones. "Hey there. It's okay. You're safe," he said. Slowly, the creature's trembling eased. Lyra's eyes widened with surprise. You can calm him," she said, her voice trembling with awe. Before Alex could answer, a rustling in the bushes caught their attention. Shadows moved unnaturally fast, slipping between the glowing trees. Lyra stiffened. They are coming," she whispered urgently. "Who?" Alex asked, standing protectively in front of her. The guardians. The ones who watch over this forest. If they find me outside, they will take me back. Or worse, she said, her voice barely audible. Alex's heart raced. He had been on dangerous missions before, but never had he faced something like this. Alien guardians that could threaten a small princess. Yet he didn't feel fear. Instead, he felt determination. Then we won't let them find you, he said firmly. We'll hide. We'll figure this out together. Lyra looked at him, her glowing eyes searching his face. Together? She asked, hope flickering in her tone. Yes, Alex said simply. Together. The first guardian appeared. A tall, armored alien with glowing eyes that pierced the dim forest light. It moved silently, yet its presence was terrifying. Alex stepped closer to Lyra, positioning himself as a shield. The guardian stopped. Its head tilted as if sensing something. Lyra's brother whimpered in fear. Alex raised his hand slowly. We mean no harm, he said in a calm, firm voice. The guardian studied him then. After what felt like an eternity, it turned and disappeared into the forest. Lyra exhaled in relief. You saved us, she whispered. I don't know how to thank you. Alex smiled. Just stay close. That's thanks enough. For the next few hours, they moved quietly through the glowing forest. Lyra showed Alex hidden paths, secret streams, and safe spots where they could rest. Along the way, she shared more about herself. She was the youngest princess of a planet ruled by a council of elders. Her people were peaceful but powerful. Yet there were factions, rivals who wanted to use her and her brother for their own plans. Alex listened intently, understanding the weight of responsibility on her small shoulders. So, you're not just a princess. You're a protector, he said, impressed. Lyra nodded. I must be, for him, and for my people. As night fell, the forest glowed even brighter. Bioluminescent plants casting eerie shadows. Alex and Lyra made camp under a canopy of shimmering leaves. Lyra's brother slept safely beside them, calm now because of Alex's gentle presence. I trust you, Lyra said softly, her voice barely above a whisper. But at the journey ahead, it will not be easy. The guardians, the factions, they will try to stop us. Alex looked at her with steady eyes. Then we'll face it, step by step together. For the first time, Lyra allowed herself to smile fully. She laughed softly, a sound that was both musical and comforting. You are strange, she said, shaking her head in wonder. Most human, they are not like you. Alex chuckled. I take that as a compliment. Just then, a distant roar echoed through the forest, a warning, a threat. Lyra stiffened, clutching her brother. Alex's hand went to a small energy tool at his belt. They had survived the first encounter, but the night was far from over. Shadows moved closer and the forest seemed to hum with anticipation. Alex glanced at Lyra, determination in his eyes. Whatever comes, we face it together, right? Lyra nodded, her eyes shining in the dim light. Together, she repeated. The journey had only just begun, but already Alex could feel that this adventure would change both of their lives forever. And deep inside, he knew one thing. This small princess and her secret companion held a power far greater than he could imagine, and protecting them would be the greatest test of courage he had ever faced. The alien forest was alive in ways Alex had never seen before. Every step he took caused soft lights to shimmer on the crystalline leaves above, and strange insects glided through the air, glowing like tiny stars. Lyra walked close to him, her small hand occasionally brushing against his arm, seeking comfort in his steady presence. Her brother, now calm and nestled in her arms, occasionally peeked out with large, curious eyes. We need to reach the hidden city before sunrise, Lyra whispered, her voice urgent but quiet. The guardians will intensify their search as night falls. Alex nodded, scanning the surroundings. Then let's move carefully, slowly but steadily. Their path was treacherous. The ground shifted unpredictably, and some of the glowing plants reacted to movement, releasing clouds of spores that could confuse or disorient travelers. Alex held back his fear and led the way, carefully testing each step. He quickly realized that his human instincts, logic, observation, and quick thinking would be their most valuable tools in this strange environment. As they walked, Lyra pointed out dangerous areas. Over there, she said, is the quicksand of Vera. One step in and you sink too fast to pull out. Her voice trembled slightly, revealing that even a princess could feel fear. Alex smiled reassuringly. Thanks for the warning. I've got it covered. He used a long branch to test the ground, carefully guiding Lyra and her brother across. They moved silently, shadows among shadows, but every rustle or whisper of wind made them jump. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the forest. The glowing leaves trembled. From the darkness, a predator emerged, a creature nearly twice Alex's size, with long, jagged limbs and eyes that burned like molten gold. Its roar reverberated, shaking the ground beneath them. Alex froze for a heartbeat, then quickly analyzed the creature's behavior. Lyra, stay behind me, he said calmly, placing himself between the predator and the two aliens. The creature sniffed the air, its claws digging into the soil. Lyra held her brother tightly. It will attack us, she whispered, fear shining in her eyes. Alex's mind raced. There was no time to think of weapons. His survival depended on quick improvisation. Spotting a nearby plant that emitted a bright flash when touched, he grabbed it and hurled it toward the predator. The sudden burst of light blinded it momentarily, giving Alex enough time to signal Lyra. Run, he shouted. They sprinted through the glowing forest, Alex guiding them to a narrow canyon. The predator followed but slowed when the terrain became difficult. Alex could hear its growls getting fainter. Finally, they reached a rocky outcrop, safe for the moment, panting and covered in dust. Lyra looked at Alex with wide eyes. You saved us again. How did you do that? Alex shrugged, catching his breath. Sometimes. You just have to stay calm and think. Panic doesn't help anyone. She laughed softly, the sound like wind chimes. You humans are strange, Alex, brave, clever, and surprisingly kind. The brief moment of relief was shattered as the wind shifted. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. From the shadows, figures moved silently, more guardians, faster and more numerous than before. Lyra's eyes widened. They found us. There was no time to hide. Alex grabbed Lyra's hand, pulling her and her brother along. They darted into a thick grove where the trees' bioluminescence masked their presence. Branches snapped and small creatures scattered in panic. Every step was a test of balance and speed. Finally, they stumbled upon a hidden portal, a swirling vortex of light hovering a few feet above the ground. Lyra's eyes glimmered with hope and fear. This will take us to the floating city, she said breathlessly. But it's unstable. One wrong step and we could be lost forever. Alex studied it carefully. Then we stepped together, slowly, carefully. He took her hand, then gently lifted her brother in his other arm. They approached the portal, its edges rippling like liquid glass. Before they could enter, a guardian appeared at the far end, eyes glowing with suspicion. It raised its hand, a warning or a command, Alex couldn't tell. But he didn't hesitate. He stepped forward, leading Lyra and the little one through the portal. The world around them twisted and spun. Colors collided, and a strange vibration pulsed through their bones. Alex held on tightly, feeling the pull of alien energy. Then, as suddenly as it began, they landed softly in a city above the clouds, floating on massive platforms of shimmering metal. Lyra gasped. We made it, she whispered, awe in her voice. The city, it's beautiful. Alex looked around, impressed despite himself. Massive towers of light stretched into the sky, and creatures of all shapes and colors moved gracefully along floating pathways. The portal behind them shimmered and closed, leaving them momentarily alone. But Alex knew this was only a temporary relief. The Guardians would not give up so easily, and somewhere in the floating city others were already watching. Their journey was far from over. He glanced at Lyra, who smiled nervously. We survived the first challenge, he said. But the real tests, they're still ahead. Her glowing eyes met his. Then we face them together, she said softly. Alex nodded. Together. And in that moment, both human and alien understood that their bond, built through courage, trust, and kindness, was stronger than fear. The dangerous journey had only begun, but together, they could face anything. Alex blinked against the bright light of the floating city. The sky was no longer a simple shade of violet or orange. It stretched infinitely, filled with swirling clouds of silver and gold, pierced by beams of energy that connected the massive floating platforms. Strange ships glided silently between the towers, their sleek forms unlike anything Alex had seen. He held Lyra's hand tightly, feeling her small fingers tremble against his. Her brother was nestled safely in her other arm, glowing faintly in the ambient light of the city. This is incredible, Alex whispered, unable to hide his awe. Lyra's eyes shone, but worry shadowed her features. It is beautiful. But we are not safe yet. The city is watched. The elders, they know someone entered from the forest. They will see us soon. Before Alex could respond, a massive figure emerged from a tower above, a tall, imposing alien with glowing eyes and armor that seemed to shimmer with liquid metal. The elders had detected them. The being's gaze pierced through Alex and Lyra, and the ground seemed to hum beneath their feet. Alex instinctively stepped in front of Lyra. "We come in peace," he said firmly, trying to sound confident. The elder raised a hand. A beam of light scanned them, analyzing, judging. Lyra's small hand clenched Alex's. They will not trust you easily," she whispered. The elder's voice echoed without moving its mouth. "Who is this human? Why does he enter the city without permission?" Alex swallowed, thinking quickly. I am Alex. I helped Lyra, your princess. I protected her and her brother from danger in the forest. I mean no harm." The elder's eyes glowed brighter, a sign of deep scrutiny. "Humans are rare here. Your kind, they are unpredictable. How can we know you are not a threat?" Alex's heart pounded, but he remained calm. He remembered how fear could betray him. Instead, he focused on truth and courage. "I understand your doubt, but I only wish to protect them. I would risk my life to keep them safe. That is all I ask you to see." There was silence. The glowing city seemed to hold its breath. Then the elder tilted its head, a soundless gesture of consideration. "Very well. But actions speak louder than words. If you are to remain here, you must complete a task." Lyra looked at Alex, her eyes wide. "A task? What? What kind of task?" The elder extended its arm, and a small platform floated down, displaying a glowing image. A tiny alien child, crying and thrashing, its body glowing with raw, uncontrolled energy. Alex's stomach twisted. "That is your child?" he asked cautiously. "No," the elder replied. "It is the young sibling of the princess. He is unstable, afraid, and his power is dangerous. Calm him, and you may prove your worth." Alex took a deep breath. Lyra's brother had seemed difficult enough, but this child radiated energy that made the air around them hum. "I can try," he said, determination in his voice. Lyra bit her lip. "Be careful, he reacts to emotions. Fear, anger, even doubt will make it worse." Alex approached the glowing child slowly, keeping his movements calm and measured. "Hey there," he said softly, kneeling so he appeared smaller, less threatening. "It's okay. You're safe." The child shrieked, energy sparking from its body, forming arcs of light in the air. Alex didn't flinch. He spoke gently, telling the child stories of calm forests and starlit skies, just as he had done in the forest with Lyra's brother. Slowly, the child's energy dimmed, its cries softening. Lyra gasped. "Alex, you're doing it," the elder observed silently, its glowing eyes fixed on Alex. After what felt like an eternity, the child finally quieted, curling safely into Alex's arms. Lyra's eyes shone with relief and admiration. You have courage," the elder said at last, "and patience. You may remain in the city, but know this, threats still linger. Rival factions will test your bond with the princess." Alex looked at Lyra, who smiled, a rare moment of pure joy breaking through the tension. You are remarkable," she whispered, laughing softly. I never thought someone like you could understand him. Or me." Alex laughed too, relief washing over him. "We make a good team," he said simply. But as they stood there, catching their breath, Alex noticed movement in the distance. A fleet of shadowy ships gliding above the clouds, heading toward the city. Lyra's smile faded. "The rivals. They are coming," she whispered. Alex glanced at the elder, who nodded subtly. "Prepare yourselves. The next challenge will test more than courage. It will test trust, strategy, and the heart." Lyra took a deep breath, clutching her brother close. "Then, we face it together," she said firmly, looking at Alex. "Together," Alex agreed. And as the sun, or whatever alien star illuminated the city, cast golden light across the floating platforms, Both human and alien knew their journey had only begun. The portal had brought them here, but survival, trust, and courage would determine whether they could truly navigate the dangerous world that awaited. The floating city was silent now, but the tension hung thick in the air. Alex could feel it vibrating beneath his boots, a pulse of energy that seemed to warn him of danger yet unseen. Lyra held her brother close, her glowing eyes scanning the skies. Far above, dark silhouettes of alien ships cut through the golden clouds, approaching faster than he could track with the naked eye. "The rivals are coming," Lyra whispered, voice tight with worry. "If they reach the city before the elders can respond, everything we've done will be lost." Alex nodded. "Then we can't wait. We have to act, and act smart." He scanned the city, noting the intricate pathways and platforms that connected the towers. The elders had granted them temporary safety, but that didn't guarantee survival against a coordinated attack. Just as he was planning their next move, a group of alien figures appeared, gliding silently down the floating platforms. They were humanoid but sleek, with armor that shimmered in shifting colors. Alex instinctively stepped in front of Lyra, ready to defend her. "Stop!" one of them called in a calm but commanding tone. "We are not your enemies." "Yet." Alex raised an eyebrow. "Not enemies yet?" he asked cautiously. The alien stepped closer, extending a hand in a gesture of peace. "We are scouts of the outer faction. We have been sent to observe the city and its inhabitants. But we too see the threat coming. The rivals will attack, and if they succeed, none of us will survive. We propose an alliance." Lyra's eyes widened in surprise. "An alliance?" she repeated, skeptical. "With them?" Alex considered the situation carefully. The rivals were approaching fast. They had no time for doubt. "It makes sense," he said. "We join forces temporarily. Then we can focus on survival and protecting the princess." The scout nodded. "Agreed, but the test of loyalty is not words. It is action. Follow me." Alex, Lyra, and the scout group navigated through narrow platforms and bridges suspended in the clouds. The scouts moved gracefully, familiar with the city's hidden pathways. Alex struggled to keep up but relied on his instincts, balancing carefully while carrying Lyra's brother. Finally, they arrived at a wide platform, where a small alien child sat trembling, its body glowing with uncontrolled energy. Alex's stomach twisted. This was the child the elders had warned about. Lyra's younger sibling who could amplify danger with a mere thought. "Calm him," the scout instructed. "Show him your intent. Show him trust." Alex swallowed, stepping forward slowly. He knelt to the child's level, keeping his hands visible and his voice soft. "Hey there." "It's okay. You're safe," he said gently. The child flinched, sparks of energy arcing into the air. Lyra gasped. He's scared of everything." Alex focused, taking a deep breath. "I know, but fear doesn't have to control us. Let's take it slow, one step at a time." He told stories of safe forests, calm skies, and kind humans who cared deeply for others. The child's trembling lessened slightly, though the glowing energy still flared with bursts of uncertainty. The scouts watched silently, observing Alex's calm and courage. After tense minutes, the child finally allowed Alex to hold him, resting his tiny glowing head against Alex's chest. Lyra's eyes filled with tears. You did it," she whispered, voice shaking with relief. He trusts you." Alex smiled, exhausted but satisfied. "We did it. Together." The scout leader nodded approvingly. "You have proven yourself. Trust is rare among humans, but your actions speak louder than words. You may stay here, at least until the rivals arrive." Lyra stepped closer to Alex, laughing softly for the first time in hours. "I never thought a human could understand him. Or me," she said, her voice full of warmth and wonder. Alex chuckled. "I guess humans can surprise you sometimes." Their brief moment of relief was shattered by a sudden alarm from the city, a glowing red signal rising from the central tower. The rivals had arrived. Massive ships hovered above, their shadows stretching across the floating platforms. Energy beams flashed intermittently, warning citizens to evacuate or prepare for battle. Alex glanced at Lyra, determination hardening his features. "We've proven trust and courage, but the real challenge begins now. We must protect the city, the princess, and her brother, together with these allies." Lyra nodded, gripping his hand. "Together," she repeated firmly. The scouts moved swiftly, setting defensive barriers along the platforms while Alex and Lyra followed, ready to use every tool, every trick they had learned. The city seemed alive, its pathways glowing in response to their movements, almost as if it sensed the imminent battle and chose to aid them. Above, the rivals' fleet hovered like storm clouds, their intentions clear, but Alex felt a strange confidence. He had proven that humans could earn trust and act with courage, and now with Lyra at his side, an unexpected alliance of alien scouts, and the young sibling safely in their care, he was ready to face whatever came next. The city trembled slightly as the first energy blasts hit distant platforms. Alex tightened his grip on Lyra's hand. "Hold on. This is just the beginning." Lyra looked at him, eyes glowing with determination. "We face it together," she said again, and together, human and alien prepared to stand against the storm that was about to descend. The floating city trembled under the shadows of the rival fleet, their ships casting long, dark streaks across the golden clouds. Energy beams streaked between platforms as citizens and defenders scrambled to prepare for the attack. Alex's heart pounded in his chest, but he kept his focus. Lyra's small hand clutched his tightly, her glowing eyes filled with equal parts fear and determination. Her younger brother nestled close, glowing faintly with nervous energy. "We can't hold them off forever," Lyra whispered, her voice trembling. "They're too strong, too many." Alex shook his head firmly. "We won't give up. Not now, not ever. We've come too far. We protect this city and we protect you no matter what." Lyra looked at him, awe and gratitude shining in her eyes. You are brave. Braver than anyone I've known." Before Alex could reply, an alarm sounded, an urgent, high-pitched vibration that echoed through the platforms. From the shadows, a smaller rival squad advanced, moving quickly and silently toward the central tower. These were elite attackers, trained to target high-value individuals, and Lyra's presence made her a prime target. Alex assessed the situation. "We need to split up," he said calmly. "I'll take the squad coming this way. Lyra, stay close to your brother and follow the scouts. They know the hidden paths." Lyra hesitated. "No, I'm not leaving you." "You won't be alone," Alex reassured her. "But you need to be safe. That's what matters most." He squeezed her hand gently before moving toward the advancing enemies. The first attacker lunged at Alex with glowing blades. With quick reflexes, Alex sidestepped, using his momentum to knock the enemy off balance. He grabbed a nearby energy conduit and swung it like a staff, deflecting another attacker. Each move was precise, calculated. He relied on human ingenuity, agility, and his ability to stay calm under pressure. Lyra watched, holding her brother close, amazed at Alex's courage. He's amazing," she whispered to herself. No one else could do that. The battle intensified. Energy beams flashed, platforms shook, and sparks rained down as Alex faced multiple attackers. Yet he never lost focus. Every step, every block, every strike was designed not to kill but to disable and protect. Slowly, one by one, the attackers faltered, confused by the unexpected strategies of a human defending an alien princess. Meanwhile, the scouts worked alongside Lyra, setting barriers and guiding citizens to safety. Lyra's heart raced as she realized how much trust she placed in Alex, trust that went beyond survival. She felt a deep connection, a bond that had formed over danger, courage, and shared moments of vulnerability. After what felt like hours but was only minutes, the last attacker fell back, retreating toward their fleet. The city's tremors eased slightly. Alex, breathing heavily, wiped sweat from his brow and looked at Lyra. She ran to him, her glowing eyes full of admiration and relief. You did it," she exclaimed, laughing softly through tears. "You protected us all, even me." Alex smiled, exhausted but filled with a warm sense of accomplishment. "We did it together," he said. "I couldn't have done it without you and your brother guiding me." Lyra hugged him tightly. You're not just brave. You're kind. You care, truly care. I never imagined someone like you could exist." Her voice was soft, almost trembling, yet full of honesty. Alex felt a warmth spread through him. "It's easy to care when someone is worth it," he said quietly, glancing at Lyra's brother who nuzzled against her chest. "And you too. You're more than worth it." For a few moments the world felt calm. The city floated silently above the clouds. The threat temporarily held at bay. Citizens peered from behind barricades, glancing at Alex and Lyra with newfound respect. Even the scouts nodded in approval, recognizing the strength of courage, trust, and human ingenuity. Lyra laughed softly, the sound musical and light, breaking through the tension that had gripped the city for so long. "I never thought laughter could feel this. Freeing," she whispered. "Especially after all we've faced." Alex chuckled. "Then let's not waste the moment. You earned it." He gently ruffled her hair, and for the first time, they allowed themselves to share a small, genuine moment of relief and joy. But even as they shared this quiet victory, Alex knew the real challenges were not over. The rival fleet still lingered above the clouds, waiting, calculating, preparing. The alliance they had forged would be tested again, and trust, courage, and connection would remain their greatest weapons. Alex looked at Lyra, determination hardening his features. "We've proven that we can face anything together, and no matter what comes next, we'll face it side by side." Lyra smiled, her glowing eyes meeting his. "Together," she said, echoing the word with conviction. And in that moment, human and alien knew that courage was not just in battle, but in trust, in connection, and in the willingness to stand together when the world seemed ready to fall apart. Their bond, formed through danger and hardship, had become unbreakable, a force stronger than any enemy they could face. The city floated silently under the golden sky, and for the first time since the journey began, Alex allowed himself to feel hope. Because he knew that together, they could overcome whatever challenges the universe had in store. The floating city shimmered under the golden light of the alien sun, its towers and pathways glowing with a soft, iridescent energy. The immediate threat from the rival fleet had passed, but tension still lingered in the air like static electricity. Alex stood on a wide platform, catching his breath, while Lyra held her younger brother close, the little one glowing softly as he relaxed in the warmth of her arms. "We made it," Lyra whispered, laughing softly, the sound like a gentle melody in the quiet city. I can't believe we made it." Alex smiled, brushing a stray strand of hair from her glowing forehead. "We did, together." For a moment they simply stood there, letting the relief sink in. Citizens peeked from behind glowing barriers, watching the human and the princess who had faced impossible danger side by side. The scouts who had allied with them nodded with respect, their usual stoic expressions softened by admiration. Lyra laughed again, a clear, bright sound that echoed across the platforms. Alex joined in, the sound of their laughter mingling with the hum of the city's energy. "I never thought laughter could feel so freeing," Lyra said, her voice full of wonder. Alex chuckled. "It's the best kind of reward," he said. "After all the chaos and danger, this moment makes it all worth it." But even as they laughed, Alex remained alert. Shadows moved on the distant platforms, and his instincts told him the danger wasn't over. The rival fleet may have retreated, but they had not vanished. Somewhere in the sky, enemies were still watching, waiting for a chance to strike. Lyra noticed his serious expression. "Alex, are you thinking about the fleet?" she asked, concern in her glowing eyes. "I'm thinking about all the challenges ahead," he replied. "But I also know that we've proven something important. Courage, trust, and connection, those are stronger than any enemy. And together we can face anything." Lyra smiled, gripping his hand firmly. "Together," she echoed, the word carrying more weight than ever before. Her brother's soft glow pulsed in agreement, almost as if he too understood the bond that had formed between human and princess. The elders approached, their towering forms and glowing eyes radiating authority and calm. "You have done well," one said, voice deep and resonant. "Human, your courage and patience have proven that your species can bring honor and protection to those who need it. Princess, your trust in him has shown wisdom beyond your years." Alex bowed slightly. "Thank you, elders. I only acted to protect them." The elders' gaze softened. "And that is why you are worthy of our respect. But the universe is vast and full of challenges. Be prepared, for the journey is not over. Allies and enemies alike will test you. Yet hope, courage, and trust, these will guide you." Lyra looked at Alex, her glowing eyes shining brighter than the city lights. "We have hope," she said firmly. "And we have each other." For a moment the city seemed to hum with quiet approval, a subtle celebration of their victory. Citizens and scouts gathered around, some clapping softly, others bowing in respect. Alex felt a sense of belonging he had never known among humans alone. Here in this alien world he had found friendship, trust, and courage that transcended worlds. Then in the midst of the calm, a shadow flickered across the sky. Alex squinted, spotting a shape moving silently against the golden clouds. Lyra followed his gaze, her smile fading slightly. "Another fleet?" she whispered. Alex shook his head, a confident smile returning to his face. "Not yet, but it's a reminder. The universe is full of challenges and we must stay ready." Lyra laughed softly, the tension easing. "Well, I suppose we've gotten used to challenges by now." "Exactly," Alex said. "And no matter what comes next, we'll face it. Together." They laughed again, this time louder, their voices mingling with the soft hum of the city. It was a victorious, joyous sound, a signal that despite danger, despite uncertainty, human and alien could find connection, courage, and laughter even in the heart of chaos. As they looked out over the glowing towers and floating platforms, Alex realized that this was more than a victory. It was a beginning. A new bond had been forged, one that could face the darkest threats and the most mysterious challenges the universe could throw at them. Lyra's brother wriggled in her arms, glowing brighter for a moment, almost as if he understood that the danger had passed and for now they were safe. Lyra laughed again, brushing Alex's arm gently. "We've come so far," she said softly. "And I think this is just the start of something amazing." Alex nodded, looking out at the endless sky. "The universe is waiting for us, and whatever comes next, we'll face it, together." And as the city glimmered beneath the golden light with laughter, courage, and hope echoing across the platforms, human and alien knew that they had not only survived, they had triumphed. Their story was far from over, but for now they had earned this moment of peace, this moment of joy, and the promise of adventures yet to come.